Welcome to my solar guitar video. Eric recently did an unboxing video, and I'm going to take it several steps further by showing you a design flaw in the solar V-style guitars, and then not so much fixing it, but making it so that I can use it. So I have two of these bad boys. This is a solar V7 string. I don't know what these things are called. The V2.7 TBR, I guess, for blood red. Anyway, these guitars are awesome. They're fun to play. They feel great. But there's one terrible design aspect of this guitar, and it is that the bottom fin of the V has one of these recessed Stratocaster style jacks. And I get why they're there, because this guitar is heavily beveled, and so there might not be a great spot for a kind of a flat jack. But the problem is that if you're anyone bigger than like 5'2" and 120 pounds, this jack is going to be where your thigh is. I can't do that because every time I move or think about moving, the jack and the guitar signal, blah, 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 it just like crackles and cuts in and out. We tried to play these the other night at a show, and I couldn't get either of them to work consistently during sound check. And it's because the cable goes in here and sticks out at an angle like that. And here, I'll just show you. I mean, look at that. That sucks. So that's poking into my leg the whole time. One of the things I definitely don't want to do is get out a drill and just half-ass put one of these somewhere else. So what I did, and I'll show you on this other guitar, I experimented. I went mad scientist, and I hardwired a cable straight into the guitar. So I'll have a little bit of a tail that hangs out, and you can see that's got a much lower profile, and it's flexible. So I can wrap this, I can, put a little sticky thing with a little, like a wire guide on here, but that's not going to be a problem, right? And then I can plug my guitar or my cable or my wireless or anything and still loop it around the strap like I always do, but this shouldn't cause me any problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this one out because it sucks. It's not a great cable, and I'm going to install some of these new cables that I bought specifically for this. It should be a very simple little piece of soldering, not a big deal at all. I've kept everything else, so if I hate this and it doesn't work, I can put it all back to stock and, I don't know, sell these or something. I really want to play the solar guitars. I love these. I've always loved these. I've had them in the past. I've played them in the past. They're so much fun. But, if I have to move to their Les Paul style, their G style guitar, I will, because that's kind of what I'm used to playing right now. But anyway, so let's get started. I'm going to undo what I've done here. Now this worked, but it was not great, and the cables, it was just kind of in here half-assed, because I'm a half-assed kind of guy. But I'll show you something once I get this out, how bad this is, how badly put together this is. What am I doing? I know how guitars work, right? It goes like this. So even inside, you've got all this chunk of stuff coming through. What this looks like on the inside, so you can see how much damage and scratching and scraping the inside of that jack and probably the plug have done to this guitar. Just stock as is. I mean, that is That's crazy, right? That shouldn't be like that, okay? And it's caused, like, I had to tape over a big shredded part of the wire just because of that pinching and that scraping. So what we're gonna do is we're basically gonna take this cable, which is a 1/4 inch male to female. I'm just gonna desolder this bit and take these 2 cable ends and solder them right to the pot of the volume pot, because that's how the input jack is wired. I'm going to feed it through here. I'm going to feed it through this, and then, you know, we should be good to go. So I'm going to do this to both guitars, and I'll test them when I'm done. But I guess for right now, we just got cameras, and let's see what happens. I doink with all this. Got my little PV Rage amp over here off to the side. Show you how cool that was. Now, this works the way I think, and it should. Plug this into my amp and test it. Perfect. Pretty good. I'll show you the big problem with these. Alright. I mean, look at how that hangs on me. Can you see it? Right here? That cable is coming out right here in my leg. Well, if I'm on stage moving around, all that's going to do is, you know, all I'm going to do is disrupt that. But now, I've got a nice little loose cable. I can Velcro this to whatever. I can loop my other cable around this so it can just hang. This is going to be good to go. This is going to be great. Now it's time for number 2. The blood red one. So, do the same thing, except I got to take out the whole kit and caboodle. Start over from the top. Little tiny tail. All right. Now, the big question is, did I do a good job? We won't know until I drag these up to the studio for band practice tomorrow. It's possible that I've made all of this worse, but I've done sketchier things to guitars, and did just fine. So I'm going to consider this a success right now. I'm going to button these up. I'm going to put them back in their gig bags. And we will see you at the next Warhog show. And we've got a single coming out tomorrow, so maybe this video will go up tonight, or maybe this video will go up next week, who knows. But until then, rock on, and thanks for watching whatever the hell this video is.